And welcome back to the second half of this basketball doubleheader on SportsNetUSA.net and Bobcat Basketball. Corey Neyland and Albert Robles enjoying a fun activity of hoops on this fine Wednesday evening as the Saddleback men took care of business 80-65 winners over the visiting Cypress College Chargers. They improved to 10-9 and 1-4 in conference. Now it's the women's turn. The 15th ranked women who were 7-21 last season. Now they're 16-4 and 4-0 in conference play. Leaders atop the Orange Empire Conference under second-year head coach Jordan Hamamoto. And they look to do some damage against the visiting Cypress College Chargers, who come into this game number 8 in the recent polls. Coach B has her squad 15-4, 2-1 in conference play. They are riding a 2-game winning streak, and their starting lineups: Mission Viejo out of Troy High School gets the one starter to guard. Chris Jackson does everything on the basketball court out of Mayfair. Marina Leyva, 6-foot freshman from Cantwell, she just does it all as well. Don't be surprised if she does something you haven't seen before. Mariah Henderson, 5'11 sophomore from Braille Olinda, also a solid player, first team all-conference already. And Marina Interiano, 5'6 sophomore from Pioneer, does damage as well. And for the Bobcats, Michaela Rutledge, who should have been all-conference last year, she will be this year. 5'8 sophomore from Murrieta Valley High School. And the tip, Cassidy Beach and Chris Jackson, Cypress controls in their blue with gold trim. Bobcats in their gray. Defending the left goal, Mariah Henderson from the elbow leaves it short, and the rebound goes to Rutledge. She's joined by Marina Mina, 5'3 freshman from Lake Forest. Kaylin Mendez, who went off for over 25 last game, at 26 against Santa Ana. She misses everything on the three. Menina Psyche, the point guard, and here is Cypress running down the floor. Good finish by Interiano. That's Marina for the first two of this ball game. 4 quarters here, 10 minutes each. Pressure applied by Cypress. Almost a 10-second violation. It is a 10-second clock count as Michaela Rutledge was asking for help and none came. As we round out the starting five, Nina Psyche, as we said, the point guard, the key, the engine to this squad, and Cassidy Beach, the transfer from Westcliff, 6'1 sophomore who leads the team in points, rebounds, field goal percentage, and steals. Also throws in a block a game. Chris Jackson steps out for 3. That's where she's improved her game from last year, and it's quickly 5-0 lead for the Chargers. They are a team who likes to pressure, likes to play person to person, likes to get out and run. And there's a second turnover in as many possessions. Interiano, big bucket last week against Orange Coast College in that win. There's a 3 missing. Everything is Leyva. So she had a big bucket drive in the lane. That was Interiano, coming from the left side to the right in their win against Old Orange Coast College, the 3-time state finals game participant, 2-time winners. Beach, here's Psyche, who put up 25 against Santa Ana on Friday. Beach in the lane, good find by Mendez. And Coach Hamamoto, there's a travel on the double team in the backcourt, and Saddleback will use that pressure to get in their rhythm. If their threes fall, it'll be a long night for Cypress and a good night for the Bobcats. And their victory on Friday, Mendez put up 26. Psyche put up 25. Rutledge 14. Down low one more time. There's Michaela. So Michaela and Cassidy, a 1-2-2 pressure. Got a chance to see Saddleback at the Colleen Riley tournament. There's a steal by Rutledge. Rutledge on the steal. Her mom played at San Diego State University. Mom Allison. Michaela picking up where she left off. Psyche has deep range. 5-foot freshman. And there's another travel. Lifted the pivot foot just a little bit. Nina's sister played at Irvine Valley 2 years ago. Actually, that was last year. Irvine Valley, one of the surprise teams on the women's side this year. And down low is Vivo on the feed from Jackson. 7-4. Steal by the Chargers underneath. Vivo one more time, fading away for her 4th point. 9-4. Cypress with the lead. Too much dribbling in the backcourt. That is Marina. Has it taken away by Jackson. Jackson got away with some steps. And they bring it back out to reset like a game of 21. 21 has it. And that's Interiano. Vivo pushes off, leaves it for Leyva. Leyva underneath push off. Lowers the shoulder, getting ready for Sunday football on the left. That was more like a turkey leg on the push off, not a chicken wing. 9-4 Chargers, 6:27 to play. First quarter just started here on the women's side. Psyche with the right-handed dribble. Mendez, a threat from 3, and it doesn't matter how many threes they take. They like all of them. Checking into the ball game, number 4 there in gray. Kalina Akanaka. 8 to shoot. Mendez tripped by Interiano, not purposely. So first personal. Second team foul. And one thing Cypress will do is they free subs. Not really hockey line changes, but they will play everyone. Frida Cadena Hernandez checks in along with Angelina Bato. Deep 3. And Psyche, as we said, she's got range galore. And there's a forced turnover. So good defense by Saddleback. The score is 9-7 first quarter. They're down by 2. And Nina, really to put that game away on Friday, hit 2 big threes from that left wing spot that she likes so much against Santa Ana. 25, 2, and 8 in that ball game. She was 5 and 8 from the land of plenty. Here's Mendez, who was 3 of 5 on Friday, and she turns it over. Vivo. Beto. Angelina thought about a 3. Cadena Hernandez drives in the lane with the runner off left side. Gets her own rebound. Poked away out of there, and here comes Psyche, 1 on 3. Wisely slows it up with no numbers. Cross-court pass dangerously to Rutledge. Rutledge kick out again. Psyche thought about the 3 one more time. Down low, Beach can work. And she, almost about to call a bucket. Cycling down, and got to be careful with the reach in. She fouled out against Santa Ana on Friday. She cannot foul out today. Vivo in the key. Steps out, no 3-second violation. Cypress up by 2. Hernandez, she loves the baseline. Leaves it short, but she can hit anywhere on that baseline. Mendez all the way tied up, fouled by Cadena Hernandez. Good force, good pace. Dictated the issue, and she heads to the line for 2 shots. Jackson out, Henderson. Jackson in, Henderson out. Marina Interiano out. Alyssa Narada in. And that is for Cypress. Cypress definitely has the deeper bench. Saddleback only playing with 6 this evening. Mendez gets her first points. Almost a turnover. Viejo crosses through the lane, traversing with the reach in and the finish. Kayleen Viejo, 6 points, Troy High School product. And again, the aggression and the attack, finishing strong with the left. And this is why both these teams will go far in the playoffs as a 3-point play is not converted. Chargers with a 3-point lead, 11-8 with 4 minutes to play first quarter. Mina Beach pushed out her comfort zone. Akinaka in the lane over Jackson. She's very comfortable right there is Kalina. She's out of Hawaii. Had a strong season last year. Playing well this year as well. Oh, that's not a foul, but they say it is a foul. That's a play on. But Albert, that's why we're up here. First personal on Beach for second team foul. And actually, Saddleback is playing with 7 today. I did not see Shajade Banks, who checks in for Cassidy Beach. One more time. I don't know. Rebound. Akinaka running the court left side is Mendez, and that's the vision you see from Psyche to give the Bobcats a 1-point lead at 12-11. Outstanding break with the 2-on-1 kick out the bottom. Deep 3, no good, rims out. By Narada, Chris Jackson with the rebound. Jack Banks with a strong board. Psyche will pull. She does. Foul on the 3-point opportunity on the wrist. You get Jackson. They do. Chris Jackson reaching in. As they know, Psyche can hit that 3 from 30. Nina on the season. 12 points, 4.5 assists, a couple steals a ball game. The consummate point guard. And misses the first of 3. Free throw shooting was not on good display in the men's side. And it's infected the women here on the free throw shooting at that line as 0 for 2 is Psyche. On the season, she makes that one a 70% free throw shooter. Makes 1 of 3. 3 minutes to play first quarter. Hernandez on the inbound. Narada, back to Henderson, excuse me. Marina Interiano, she has it there, poked away by Psyche. Taken right back by Interiano. There's a 3 from the left wing. It's missed by Giselle Martinez. And here comes Saddleback with a 2-point lead. You see the difference in this Saddleback team from this year to last year. This year, so much more confidence that they're playing with. Kaylin Mendez has it poked away, and they call a foul on the Chargers. Oh, kickball. Reset on the shot clock to 20. Next foul on the Chargers will put Saddleback in the bonus. Travel by Banks. Took that little bunny hop before the ball hit ground. 2:17 to play in the first. Henderson throws it away. Henderson can do a lot of good things. That was not one of them. She can handle the rock, but again, the pressure by Saddleback. Banks is out, Rutledge is in. Mina picks up her dribble. And underneath is Akinaka here. Henderson takes the ball away. Good defense on the interior. So 13-11, not the crispest played first quarter. But the Bobcats have the lead nonetheless. 13-11. Martinez, sweet spot, not so sweet. Rutledge, Psyche, hesitation, gets double teamed. Akinaka back to Mendez. Uses the bounce well, misses with the left. Akinaka, strong rebound, no. Coach B wants an over the back call, but good no call as Narada carries. And they do call it. A little hitch in the giddy up. 13-11, 2-point lead, the Bobcats advantage. Viejo in, Martinez out. Good crowd here at Bobcat Gym. Psyche uses the bounce. Mina for three. Woo. And as a team, they don't shoot quite 30% as a team for three. 16-11 your score. But it's not about the percentage. It's about taking the shots in the rhythm of the offense, and that's what they do. 16-11 your score. Knocked away. Good hands by Akinaka. Mina, who hit the last three into the front court, sets the offense. Coach Hamamoto said spacing is key, and there we go with another drive. No good. Henderson with the board. She's working. 1-on-3, 2-on-3. Delayed break. Good transition defense for the Bobcats. 10 to shoot. Make it 7. Murata forces one and makes it count. So at the end of one period of play, it's Saddleback 16, Cypress 13. This is Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. As Cypress comes in with a 2-game win streak for Brittany Imaku in her 4th season at the helm for the Chargers. Saddleback has a 7-game win streak. As again, they finished 7-21 overall last year, 0-12 in conference play. This year, they're 7-0 at home, 4-3 away, 5-1 on a neutral court. Cypress is 8-1, 5-1, and 2-2 on that home away and neutral. Saddleback, they beat Santa Ana on Friday, 79-69. They shot 54% from the field. They shot 61% from three, 13 of 21. Mendez, 3 for 5, Psyche, 5 for 8, and Rutledge, 4 for 7 from three-point land. Free throws, they missed 8. They were 12 of 20. So when you shoot free throw or 3 points better than you shoot your free throws, tells me something that concentration's not there. Mendez had 26, 5, 2, and 3 steals. Psyche had 25, 2, and 8 assists. Rutledge, the other player in double figures, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Beach had 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks before she fouled out. Mina at the point, 2, 3, 2, 3 big steals. And Akinaka at 5 points and 7 rebounds. And their shot clock did not start. Officials say there should be 24 now. So 24 seconds to shoot. Just started the second quarter of play. Akinaka, Mina, Psyche, Rutledge, and Mendez on the floor in the gray uniforms with the maroon trim, the Bobcat Saddleback trim. That color you see there is Mendez. Tries to drive left side. Rutledge for three. Short, way short. So short it hit nothing. Tiriano down low. Cadena Hernandez loses her balance, but Vivo is there. Joined by Henderson, Jackson, and Vivo with a step through. And this is what you like about both these teams. Both these teams are fundamentally sound. Step through and using the left in the key. Akinaka alone, so alone, she turned and rushed it. Coach Hamamoto says, where's my foul? He said no foul given. There's a ride there by Psyche with the push. So 16-15, Bobcats with a 1-point lead. First team foul, first team foul. First team foul, first personal, excuse me. And so we'll get to the rankings for the women as well and the conference standings. Guess we'll do standings first, rankings second. Vivo barking out orders. On the right side, handoff to Interiano. That's Marina working on Mina. Long rebound chase down by Henderson, blocked by Rutledge. Didn't hit the rim, so there's only 5 to shoot. Akinaka, good balance underneath, forces a wild shot with the turnaround, no good, but the reset of 20. Second chance opportunity for the Chargers. Interiano working against Mina. Step back, second block by Rutledge on this possession, and there's a bump. Psyche with a little push underneath with the body, her second personal. Second team foul in the second quarter. And this will send Vivo to the line. Kayleen, Troy High School. 6 rebounds in the win against Fullerton on Friday, 63-48. On the season, she averages 8.5, 4.5, and 4 assists on the season. Those 4 assists leads the team as she clanks the first one. And the second hierarchy falls. So early on, she's got 9 of the 16 points, and that's the score we're knotted up at with 8-13 in the second. Beach, who checks in. Stolen by Jackson, ahead of the pack. On the right side, as you see the step through, Cadena Hernandez kicks it out to Mariah Henderson, who hits the 3. And Henderson, her first bucket of the game, has opened up her range, Albert, in this her sophomore season to make her more of a deadly threat. Naka rolling into the lane, kick it out. Got to shoot that underneath, but Mina says, I got you. No. 19-16 Chargers and the ball. Jackson and the receiver for a touchdown misses, and it's poked away by Henderson. Oh, you got to convert that if you're Jackson for the Chargers. 19-16, they have the lead. And we'll see if Cypress employs a trap. It'll be difficult against Saddleback because they have excellent decision making. Mendez can take that 3. That's her spot. Top of the board, no. Strong board by Vivo. Here she comes, 2-on-2. Keeps the bounce alive and uses a left to precision. She's got 11 points, 21-16. Again, recognition and don't stop the ball, don't stop the bounce until they make you. They did not make her. She gets the bucket. Rutledge, down low to Beach. Kick out Akinaka. Underneath bump, kick out. Mendez for 3, left it short. Quickly up to Henderson. 3-on-1, pull up from 12. Count the bucket. You hear the thwack of the net. 5 points for Henderson and a quick 7-0 run by the Chargers to make it a 23-16 lead. This is Bobcat Basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. And we were talking about the standings in the Orange Empire Conference. Somebody said we didn't give any love to the NorCal, Albert. So we're still not. So Orange Coast Conference, Saddleback, your Saddleback Bobcats 4-0. Irvine Valley, Cypress, and Orange Coast all at 2-1. Definitely making the playoffs is Saddleback, Irvine, Cypress, and Orange Coast. Fullerton is 2-2. They're 10-10 overall. Santa Ana is 0-3 after starting strong, but they're 12-7 overall. They need a couple wins to make the playoffs in conference play. Riverside 0-4, haven't won one. They're 6-14 in the overall standing. So we would go SoCal. Somebody just texted us, said we didn't give love to NorCal. Let's just put it this way. 3 of the top 7 teams in the top 25 in the 3C2A are from the Big 8 Conference. And we'll get to that in maybe later. We shall see. Out of the timeout with 6:33 to play in the second quarter. Bobcats with possession in gray. Rutledge, Psyche, Mina, Mendez, and Beach. Let's see if Cassidy can open up and start working the insides in that key. They set a high screen for Rutledge. She doesn't take it. Good defense and closeout by the Chargers. 15 to shoot. Psyche clears the lane. Beach clears the lane for Psyche. Ball deflected by Interiano. And Cassidy Beach, she's got to be patient on the interior. She's got to establish position on the block and then get the ball. Rutledge 3, short rims it. Beach underneath, puts it up and puts it in on the ricochet. And that's what she needed. She's got 4 points. Mariah Henderson picks up her first personal. And for Beach, she shoots 74% from the line. Chris Jackson checks in for the Chargers. Beach was freshman of the year when she played at Westcliff. Converts on a 3-point play, and it's 23-19. She's got 5 points. Saddleback a 2-2-1. Half-court pressure. Beto for 3, no good. Active hands, active legs by Chris Jackson, poked away by Beach. Rutledge needs to do a little bit better job of boxing out and going up with 2 hands for boards. Vivo. Navarro. Back to Vivo. Sets the offense with 15. The kick out. Jackson wants the baseline against Beach. Good closeout. Here she is with 5. Vivo with 3. Over Beach for 2. Kayleen Vivo is devastating. She's got 13 points. 13 of the 25 in the first half of play. 5:20 left in the second quarter. Beach calls for Rutledge. She does on the weave. Establishes. She's got the position. 3 by Mina. Big 3 by Mariana. She gets her second because they miss Beach wide open after she sets a good screen and establish the block on the right side. 25-22. Murata does not want to counter. Jackson, 17. She likes it. She digs it. She's got 5. The Mayfair Monsoon sophomore is going to get her second all-conference selection this season. Down low, there's Beach for 2. She's been there a couple times, and they reward her for her 7th point. Chargers with a 3-point lead. Henderson for 3. She's really improved her range, even though that missed. You like to see that as at least 5, 6, 7, 8 of these players are getting looks from the next level. And wherever they go, they're going to make an outstanding contribution Beach up top, a little bit out of her range. Mendez gets baseline against Bottle, gets bumped. Rutledge, corner three. Three pocket, no. Beach, second chance. No. Rutledge, third opportunity. And that power dribble was taken away. She's got to go straight back. Here's Narada. Viejo in the corner. Henderson wants that shot again. Left it way short. Mina on the run. No numbers. Behind the back and reset. Step back three. I love that play. Missed it wildly and badly, but you know I love that play. Just the confidence to take that shot. 30-second timeout taken by the Chargers. It is 27-24, their lead, with 3:17 to play in the second quarter. This is Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. So we'll head to the North, Albert. Bay Valley, Merritt, and Laney undefeated at 6-0 and 5-0. Merritt is 11-7. Laney is 14-3, a top 10 team. The Big Eight has Folsom Lake, Santa Rosa, San Joaquin Delta, all at 7-1. Top 7 in the state in the rankings. Some may say that the Big Eight is the best conference in community college basketball on the women's side. Some will say it's the OEC, with 5 teams in the top 25 altogether. So it should be an outstanding effort. And the number 1 team right now is Mount Sac, and I don't think that's really much of a debate, as they're the best team in the state on the women's side. Out of the top 10, out of the timeout with 3 minutes to play. Here's Martinez stepped out. They didn't see it. Rebound comes to Mendez after the putback was missed by Interiano. Psyche reverse. Yes, ma'am. Psyche with 6. Cuts that Charger lead to 1. Steal by Mina. Here's Psyche again. What you like about this Saddleback team is they're not afraid to put the ball up. Beach works. Double team. Tripped over her own foot, shot it instead of passing it, which is probably wise, just short on the shot. Coach B calling for high-low action. There's the high, and that's the low underneath the Cadena Hernandez. She's got 2. Late footwork by the Bobcats on D. They're down by 3. Mendez got the corner and got the bucket. 5 for Mendez. Kaylin, also a Westcliff transfer. .143, second quarter. Narada misses from 15. Interiano, second chance, and Bottle wants to travel on the Saddleback Bobcat side. No whistle blown. Bottle again, setting up for the 3. She drives in the lane. Wild looking shot, misses. But there's Interiano. Second chance. Corner. Giselle Martinez launches and connects. 4-point advantage for the Chargers. Beach. Down low, Akinaka has the advantage. Step through. No. Mina thought about the 3. Down low to Beach. Turns, faces, off glass. Textbook. She's got 9. Still behind. Poked away by Psyche. Here's Mendez. In the corner to Psyche. Thought about the 3. Corners cut off. Good defense by the Chargers. And a nice step through. Looked like a triple jump from Mendez. Missed it underneath the bucket. 15 to shoot. 2-point lead. Chargers and with the ball. 10. 5. Narada for three. Gets her rhythm. And that will end the first half of play. 32-30. Cypress over Saddleback. This is Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey, Albert on the call. Don't forget, you'll get a chance to hear Albert on Friday with Saddleback Bobcat softball. That's at 1 p.m. versus Cerritos. So, see, you got your paperwork, Albert. Okay, join in. Join in. I'm gonna sit down and relax. We're gonna have a little conversation about that top 25 as well. We're gonna talk about the goings and ons around the campus shoot around for Saddleback as you get ready. Baseball has their first game of the season versus College of the Canyons on the 23rd Friday. As we mentioned, softball versus Cerritos. Surfing, their next event is Saturday, January 24th at the Southwestern Colleges in Oceanside. And their surfing program, one of the best in the state, one of the best in the country here at Saddleback. So you got your paperwork. What you want to get into?
I was just looking at the rosters, just, curious about the names and here and there.
Okay.
Just really just kind of double checking your work, really.
No reason.
Not that you don't do a good job, because you very much do. I learn from you every day.
Oh yeah. The only problem we got is Bato. I keep going between Bato and Beto because, forgot to ask Coach B what the correct pronunciation is. But that's okay. She's playing pretty well. No points out of Ocean View High School, but again, she's played solid minutes on the defensive side of the ball. And you were out here some for Saddleback. Out here for a game for Saddleback football. You did East LA football. And again, around campus of Saddleback, there was some football transfers for that team that went to the SoCal Finals and lost to Golden West. Cohen Ali, the defensive back, headed to Central Michigan. Gabriel Alvarado, one of the linemen, is going down to Southern. Also joining him at Southern University will be Tyrone Portis, the other offensive lineman, the two tackles. Gavin Blum is going to UCLA. The Bruins need quality players, and they get a quality player. Three players went to Central Arkansas. Tyler Dutton, the quarterback, Gage Galbraith, and Jacob Sekioba, all going to Central Arkansas. Noah Luganville, South Dakota State is going to enjoy him once he gets back and recovers from his injury. Dominic Lopez going to UT Permian Basin. Ryan Carby, the offensive lineman, one of the best in the state. Idaho State is getting a good one. And Nicholas Gentilella is going to Sacred Heart. Just some of the players on this year's team going to the next level.
To add on top of that, going into the South Coast Conference, which is where I mostly do most of my coverage for ELAC football, because I looked it up. I had been wondering what the situation was with the defensive standout, Mr. David Chukwemeka. Had numerous offers in the middle of the season and towards the end of the season. And according to my research, he has signed, will be going on to the next level, and will be playing at SMU.
Cool. Going to be a Mustang at SMU. That's a good pickup for SMU. There's going to be a lot of travel in that Atlantic Coast Conference team who resides in Texas. Yeah, college football and college athletics did not do well on the geography part of the educational spectrum. And you speak of the South Coast Conference in women's basketball. In the north side, Mount Sac, 19-1. They are the top team in the state.
And in my mind, and I said it to Serwin, they're basically 20-0. They're undefeated because that one loss was a 1-point game randomly to San Joaquin Delta.
Good team.
They're a good team. I when I had originally looked up the statistics on that, they were 14-4. So pretty good. Pretty good on the year. But if I'm Mount Sac, my mindset is, okay, they got away with it. We didn't really lose that game. They just kind of took it. You know, like
Yeah.
you kind of have to have a certain mentality of your skill set and your dominance, and clearly we can shake off that one. Doesn't matter. It
Well,
was very early on in the year, like it was at a random tournament. Not even like you know.
but that win goes a long way when both these teams get to the playoffs and both these teams have an opportunity to get to state.
Yeah,
It'll be one of those things that we beat you once, we'll beat you again. It's not one of those things like, well, we gave that game away. If we're Mount Sac, we're going to win this time. San Joaquin Delta says you weren't good enough to do it the first time. They'll say, look at the competition you play.
Mountain and on the opposite end of that, Mount Sac would be like, you got us by one. It ain't happening again. Like we'll drop 100 on you if necessary.
They average 87 points per game. LA Trade Tech is second at 15-5. East LA 11-9 along with Pasadena. Rio Hondo 10-10 in the South Coast South. Long Beach is 9-9. Compton 7-8. LA Harbor 8-10. LA Southwest 7-11. What you say about the South Coast South is somebody's going to be in first place.
Yeah.
And that's all you can say is somebody's winning the conference. The Pacific Coast Conference, here's a surprise team in the state this year. Miracosta. They're 20-0. The only undefeated team left. They're 4-0.
Well, unless you include Mount Sac in that conversation.
Mount Sac's got a loss. You can't include Mount Sac because they got a one next to them. They've got a couple transfers from Grossmont, as Grossmont's not fielding the team this year. So two of their top players went to Miracosta.
Got to go somewhere.
Yeah, and improved on an already good playoff team. Palomar's 4-0, San Diego City 3-1. And those really are the teams that should make and will make the playoffs from the PCAC. In the Inland Empire Conference, you look at Mount San Jacinto at 6-0. Copper Mountain 6-1. There's another team that's improved from last year, and it's surprising they've got a couple transfers as well. Victor Valley 5-1, who people thought last year that they would have gone a little bit farther, but they did not. Chaffee 4-3 in conference, and those are the teams you're looking at playoff caliber. And then in the Western States Conference, Moore Park always there. 4-0, 17-3 overall. Santa Barbara's a surprise with 3-1. Actually, not really a surprise. 3-1. They're a good team. Allen Hancock is a surprise at 2-2, but they're not going to the playoffs at 4-16. And in the Western States South, Glendale. Will this finally be Glendale's year? We shall see. They're 4-0. LA Valley 4-0, but they're 7-11. They have to play really, really well in conference to make the playoffs. And Bakersfield, who's 3-1, is 11-7. Citrus is 3-1, but 6-12. It'll be interesting how you're going to get 24 teams with 500 records or above. Maybe 7 teams from the OEC.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how it all comes down when it's all said and done. I know Ed Ford's opinion on the matter. It's like, oh, you could get over 500? Well, I guess we don't have 24 teams playing then.
And if you really, exactly, and if you really look at it this season, 24 is going to be iffy. 16 up north is really the limit that you'd really have if you're trying to get it. Because Mission, San Jose, and Hartnell are playing in the coast south, the coast north. Skyline, who we got a chance to see at the Colleen Riley tournament, they're 3-0. San Francisco is 1-1, but they're 14-4. There's only 2 teams out of that conference that really have a shot. Central Valley with Lemoore, Fresno City, and Taft. 3 teams over 500. And Reedley, who's struggling in conference, is 12-7. But really the conference up north is the Big 8. Like we said, Folsom Lake, Santa Rosa, San Joaquin Delta 7-1 overall. Sierra 4-4, Modesto 4-4, Sacramento City 4-4, and Cosumnes River 2-6. But all those teams are 500 or better, and you figure all of those teams are getting into the playoffs because the other conferences are a little weak. So it will be interesting. Here we're sitting at the half, Chargers up 32-30 over the Bobcats, and it's been an entertaining first half of play for these teams. Started off a little sluggish, but once they got into the rhythm and got into what they wanted to do offensively, they played really, really well. As Cypress, they come in averaging 68 points per game, Saddleback at 70% shooting from the field. Neither team shoots the three well.
And yet we've seen a few long shots already go in.
Yeah, and what you don't mind about the percentage-wise, what we said before, they're shooting in the flow of the offense. That's simply their capability to shoot, and it keeps the insides open, especially for Saddleback, for Beach and Akinaka to roam around from block to that triangle up to the free throw line, really handling the key offensively. So those threes aren't a detriment. 38% from the field and 39% from the field. That's pretty good. You're not going to be a bad team if you're shooting that in the 3C2A. However, free throws are another story. The leading free throw shooting team in the state is only shooting 70% or 72%. I think and that's Fullerton. And so everyone else is really under 70%. So if it comes down to free throw shooting contests at the end, those last 2 minutes are going to take about 20 to 30 because none of them can shoot.
And like you've seen many a game as much as I have, where free throws can really decide a huge swing of a game, as well as 3-point shots, depending on the volume in which that's actually been made and attempted. But you gotta hit your free throw shots. Like, you gotta hit those wide open opportunities. And if you can't knock down those freebies,
be a long day. I mean,
yeah.
Many teams have lost championships because they couldn't shoot free throws down the way. If you're shooting 60%, that's when the analytics will come in. And the last 5 minutes of a ball game, you got to show that you're shooting 75% and above to counteract that poor free throw shooting. And the out-of-town scoreboard, we're going to try to keep it in the OEC. So we're going to go down the list and skip the North, like some people clamor about. We're going to skip the rest of the South. And we're going to say, start of the third quarter, Orange Coast 34, Irvine Valley 31. We're going to keep it in the OEC. Let's see. We've got Riverside and Santa Ana just started at Riverside. Actually, not just started. Second quarter just started, 19-7. The Dons have the lead over the Tigers. We sit at 32-30. And that will be the end because Santiago Canyon does not field a women's team. Golden West does not field a women's team. So Fullerton gets the day off until Friday. And another team will get that day off on Friday as well. So two of the better teams that you will see here playing right now on SportsNetUSA.net are these two. You look at these teams, and College of the Sequoias, who went undefeated in the regular season last year, didn't make it to the final game last year. Mount Sac and OCC did. They're having a down season. So you can see teams from down south, as these two could be Final Four teams, legitimate Final Four teams, along with Mount Sac, along with Orange Coast.
The potential is there. Mount Sac, they are the reigning champions. So, they're, quite the behemoth for any of these teams, whether it be North or South, to even try to make a run at state once you get there. But, with the playoffs in general and how the seasons go, you might get lucky. You might be able to go on a nice little miracle run, and at least you have a shot past the the regional tournament.
Yeah, and because this year is so wide open and you love it, there's no great team out here this season. And Miracosta, Glendale, Moore Park, all have a chance. And the way Irvine Valley plays defense, they all have a chance to get to the Final Four. Years past, there's been 3 teams that are going. And this year, you have a legitimate 8 teams that can get there.
What was OCC standings right now? Because like usually they've been in the mix. At least in the past couple of years they've been in the mix.
Yeah, they're ranked number 5, I believe, in state, and they're second 2-1 in conference play in the OEC. And so they're going to be there. They're a good team. They just haven't found their gear. They're all out. This is how we're going to play, and the way Sammy Doucette wants them to play. So the top 10 is Mount Sac, Folsom Lake, Moore Park, Laney, Miracosta, Santa Rosa, San Joaquin Delta, Cypress, Orange Coast, and Copper Mountain. That's your top 10. Irvine Valley sits at 11. As we start the second half of play, and Saddleback is 15. Yet, 15 is a good spot for them because people won't take them seriously, and they're a good squad. Jackson pull up from 16, shot at 15, rebound Beach. We'll get to the first half stats as well as Rutledge, Mina, Beach, Psyche, Mendez with the ball. Right wing, Beach top of the key. And Saddleback has devastating high-low package. Beach down low, spins. No good. Good defense by Leyva, forcing her out. Jackson running the floor, leaves it for Vivo. Couldn't decide if she wanted to bank it or shoot it straight on, and she pooched it and missed. Jackson, Vivo, Interiano, that's Marina, Henderson, and Leyva get the start for Cypress. Psyche uses the bounce in the lane, crosses, and gets her 8th point of the game. Score 32-32. In the corner, there's a steal. 3-on-1. Mendez pull up. No, Psyche for 3. A deep 3. Just flowing in the breeze. 35-32 was the net.
Yeah, Nina Psyche wide open 3. Just an absolute dagger to put her team ahead.
Leyva splits the double team. Vivo splits the double team. Last touch by Jackson. So 5 quick points for the Bobcats to take a 3-point lead. Discussions, and talk. Let's get to playing, and they do. Nina, bounce. Person-to-person defense for Cypress. Rutledge. She's got to use the bounce a little bit more as well. She has the advantage. Beach underneath Leyva. Excellent defense. Misses the 6-footer. And again, Beach has 1 foul. She can afford to be a little bit more aggressive on the interior. See if she gets get away with a chicken wing on a post move. Henderson trying to work on Psyche, who she has a height advantage, and Leyva travels. And again, solid help defense that time by Saddleback as Henderson had the post up against Psyche. And again, Cypress sees it. Mendez comes from the weak side, prevents that over the top pass, and they force a travel. Psyche thought about the 3. Good closeout by Interiano. Scrum on the floor. Rutledge, take that bounce and take that shot, and she traveled. Good defense by Jackson with the closeout. Rutledge hasn't been as aggressive as we've seen early on this season.
Would have been a good move by Rutledge if she were to get off the pass before coming down, but clear up and down on the pass. Clear travel. She kind of knew it, gave a little cheeky smile, like, you got me.
And you were talking about the 3-point opportunity. See, sometimes that is that detriment that you're talking about, because if she uses the bounce, she gets to the bucket just like Leyva does. Marina Leyva for 2 out of Cantwell High School in Montebello. Here's Psyche. Beach. That's not her range. She's 15 feet and in. Psyche says that's my range, though. Misses right side. Rebound underneath. Last touch by Leyva. Beach gets away with the loose ball foul. box set. Psyche on the inbound. Rutledge. Mendez. Mina is open in the corner. She was calling for it. Too late, no recognition. Down low, too much for Beach. Turnover. 6:37 to play, third quarter. And again, talking to both coaches pregame, both these teams have gelled together. Nice reverse layup by Interiano, but couldn't finish it. Gets her own rebound and reset. Have gelled early and like each other as people. Henderson turns one more time, pushes out, no good. Flying through the air is Jackson. Mendez up to Psyche. She'll take that. Goes out by Vivo. Rutledge needs a 3 to go. She's got 5 points, and there's a timeout taken. 30-second timeout with 5:55 on the clock and a 4-point lead for the Bobcats. This is Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. And so some of those stats that you've seen, Kayleen Vivo for Cypress leading the way with 13 points. Chris Jackson has 5, Leyva 2, Henderson 5, and Marina Interiano has 2 points. Those are the 5 on the floor for the Chargers. On the floor at the time of the timeout, Rutledge with that 3 gives her 5, Mina 6, Mendez 5, Psyche 11, and Cassidy Beach has 9 points. And all 5 of those players come back onto the floor.
And also with the last 3-point shot, Corey, Saddleback now 5 of 12 for their 3-point shots.
And you'll take that. In the backcourt, almost a turnover, double team. And they do get it across. Leyva inside in the lane. Beach, good feet. And a block, her second block tonight. She played defense with her feet and gets a block. Here's Rutledge. Working on Jackson, who was a defensive player of the year last year in the OEC. And there's a turnover. That spacing not there. Bounce pass on a 2-on-1. That's how you run it. And Narada gets her 4th point on a pretty pass from Henderson. Mariah Henderson this year is doing more things that you didn't see last year, simply because of the role she's been given this year, because she's been able to show she has an all-around game. And oh my goodness, Cassidy Beach put him on a poster. And there's a steal by Psyche. That was at Lisa Leslie-esque, if you will, from the 90s with that interior post move. Lisa Collier, if you're willing to go for you young people who don't know, who can't remember the 90s. And here's Mina with the runner. She's got 8, Mariana Mina, excuse me, and it's 42-36 Bobcats. 42-36, under 4:30 to play, third quarter. Turnaround jumper is good.
Beautiful move there by Gratisha Jackson.
Flage Johnson in her game, 8 points. And there's full timeout taken by the Chargers with 4 minutes and 21 seconds to play. Good crowd here at Bobcat Gym on a beautiful Wednesday evening in Southern California. And leading the way on the boards for Cypress is Marina Interiano. She has 7. Vivo has 6 caroms. For the Bobcats, Cassidy Beach has 6 points to go along with her 11 points. Those 11 points are tied with Nina Psyche. Psyche also has 5 assists on the evening. So back into play, and it's funny when you talk about both of these coaches with the Cypress connection, because Jordan Hamamoto was the assistant coach on the men's team at Cypress for years, and they always had a good relationship. as Coach B and Coach Hamamoto, two of the better coaches, two of the better young coaches that you'll see in college basketball, not just the 3C2A, but that's not good grammar, but all of college basketball. 15 to shoot. Mina, Psyche, Rutledge, Mendez, Beach. 7-player rotation tonight. Psyche, skip pass to Mendez against Jackson. She uses the bounce, traverses the lane, off the back of the rim and falls. She's got 7 points, and that was a shot that was trying to decide if he wanted to go in or not. 6-point lead stolen by Rutledge. Good D. Here they come, 3-on-2. Rutledge all the way. She's got to take it, gets bumped, got to finish. You need that bucket. Michaela, next time she'll do a jump stop and convert.
Rutledge stands at 5'8". She needs to be able to get a little more vertical on those shots.
Votto. Narada with 8. Caden Hernandez, deep 3. Didn't have the ball. Rebound, Mendez up high as Jackson. Wants it more with the left. No. Last touch by Jackson. So again, that offensive possession, not the best for the Chargers as Jackson checks out, Henderson checks in. 2:56 left in the third quarter. Both teams 3 timeouts. No fouls in this third quarter. Well played, well officiated. In the backcourt, here's Mina. You want to take that 3? You got the numbers. Yes, you should. Off the glass, no. There's Akinaka. And why that was a good 3? Because you had a rebound advantage. It was a 3-on-1. You had 2 underneath. You can afford it. Psyche thought about a 3, splits the defenders. Here's Mendez with 5 and 4, 2. Underneath, bullies her way through with the left.
Just manages to beat the shot clock. It looked like she wasn't going to have enough time, but able to do so and nail the basket.
Neyland Mendez now in the corner. Henderson tries to do it on the opposite side, and she ducks underneath Beach to draw the foul. So 46-38. This is the Bobcats' biggest lead of 8. And Mariah Henderson out of Brea Olinda High School, 5'11" sophomore with 5 points. She had 17 against Fullerton on Friday to go along with 5 rebounds. Leads the team in field goal percentage and points at 15.5. Shoots 46% from the field. 56% from the charity stripe. I got to believe that's one of those where hopefully you haven't been there a lot. Because her stroke is too good to be shooting 56% from the line. And there's Psyche ahead of everybody, reverse layup. And she misses. Rebound Jackson. Tied it up, alternating arrow belongs to the Bobcats. About to give her props, and it said, no, not yet. She's got 11 points as Jade Banks.
Terrific effort by Psyche, but put a little too much mustard on it, just rimmed right out. But a beautiful execution nonetheless.
So Psyche, Akinaka, Beach, Banks, and Mendez. Beach in the corner. Psyche thought about the 3. Smart with the bounce. Akinaki pulls up from 16, back rimmed it. And when Beach and Akinaka are in at the same time, there's a good high-low action that they can run. 46-40. Well-played basketball game through the first 3 quarters. Jackson improving her range. Short, rebound flying through the air is Banks. Quality rebound for the freshman. Dangerous pass. There's a foul. Interiano.
Interiano trying to come away with a steal. Makes a little too much contact on the play.
Narada out. Leva in. And again, just the turnaround Jordan has made with this Saddleback basketball team, the culture of basketball within this program is really night and day to what it had been before he took over the sidelines. Down low, knocked away, last touch by Interiano with 3 seconds to shoot. He and his coaching staff has done wonders. And when we talk about those coaches, Coach B, learning from the legend Margaret Moore, Final Four participant with Long Beach State back in the day. Again, the basketball knowledge these coaches have and their staffs have. Long three, no rim. That means shot clock violation. That means turnover with 53 seconds remaining in the third. So Henderson, dangerous pass. Vivo, solid out there. The freshman have played well for Coach B and the Chargers. Leyva, Vivo, Jackson down low against Banks. Banks is very aggressive. Double team on the kick out. Leyva for 3. Rattles home. So Marina cuts the lead to 3. The shot clock is off. Psyche and the Bobcats may play for the last shot. There's 18. Akanaki to Banks. Psyche, who first pivots on that right side. Mendez with 8 in the corner. Get out of the double team with the push. Too much body if you're Interiano. That's her second personal. Second team foul. And as you hear the coaches conversating back and forth. So with 4 seconds, the shot clock is off. And yes, they do get Narada in and Interiano out. And that's Marina Interiano. Honesty Interiano. Her sister plays. There's 3, 2, 1. At the horn. No good as it bounced and bounced and bounced and off. But a good third quarter by the Bobcats as they take a 46-43 lead going into the fourth quarter. This is Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. So 16-11 was that third quarter of play where the Bobcats took control and took the lead. So it braces for an outstanding fourth quarter coming up here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget, the next broadcast will be a softball broadcast. Yes, that's right. It's January. We move it into February. That means it is softball season. There is no other season but softball season when you get into this. And that'll be Saddleback hoping to improve on their playoff run in the second round. I always get it confused, Albert. Second round, regionals, whatever it is, they made it to the second weekend of softball playoffs last year. As they beat Antelope Valley, they lose to, well, yeah. But again, they're building something. And again, you hear that here at Saddleback. They're building something in the athletic program. They've got, honestly, arguably the best facilities and complex, arguably, you can say, with the football, baseball now, softball, basketball is being improved, the aquatic center. So, yes, they're building something here at Saddleback, and you, Mark, and Ed will enjoy softball as you always do. And that is Friday at 1 p.m. Start of the fourth quarter. Jackson at the high post at the free throw line. Good offensive set. Good offensive outcome. She's got 10 points. It's 46-45. So again, that was Jackson, Henderson, Vivo, Narada, and Leyva for the Chargers. Rutledge with the ball. Beach sets a screen. Akinaka now, Psyche, and Mendez. Look for Mendez to get going, shooting from 3. Beach at the high post, almost a little too high. Cross-court pass to Mendez. Psyche, she can hit that. She decides not to. Steps back. No good, no rim. Good defense by Cypress. And again, you see the Bobcats trying to do high-low with Beach and Akinaka, but it's just outstanding defense underneath, preventing the height advantage that the Bobcats have. Narada, again, Jackson can do damages 15 feet. All she has to do is turn around with that jumper. There's Henderson working on Psyche. Good recognition, and there's a travel. Outstanding recognition, but again, Henderson rushed her shot out. Because all she had to do was turn and swoop. Instead, she turned, took that dribble, and tried to do too much. 1 point lead for the Bobcats. Again, the Bobcats are undefeated early on in the OEC at 4-0. Cypress is at 2-1 in a three-way tie for second with Irvine Valley and OCC. OCC and Irvine Valley kickball are playing tonight against each other. So the Bobcats so far are shooting 42% from the field, and Cypress is shooting 38% from the field, 4-14 from three. Saddleback is 5 of 15. Fresh shot clock, well, 20 on the shot. Psyche and Beach. Skips to Rutledge with 10. Rutledge double team. Good double by Henderson and Jackson. Alternating arrow goes to Cypress, and again, Beach up top. Rutledge a little lazy with the ball, lackadaisical. You got to be ready to shoot or drive. That triple threat position, that's no lie in the game of basketball. I thought the alternating arrow belonged to Cypress, but I guess it belongs to Saddleback. Psyche for three in the corner. Back rimmed it. And here's Vivo. Narada spins in the lane, poked away by Psyche with 15. Reset of the offense, good spacing. High post with that 1-4-41 set, I should say. Vivo drives with the left. She's dangerous. No, but Jackson is there for another two. 47-46. She's got the 4 points scored in this fourth quarter. High arcing layup missed by Psyche underneath it with the bigs. Jackson, her shot. Missed, last touch by Mina.
Chargers with a 1 point lead over Saddleback. And I'm trying to remember when was the last time in this game that they held a lead. I feel like it was back in the first quarter.
It was. Yeah, it was in the first quarter, and then the second quarter, Cypress just took over with that quick run. Saddleback took off on that quick run in the second quarter and really took control on the inbound. And again, you got to wonder if Narada established herself on the court to play. But they say she did. 7:10 to play, fourth quarter, 8 to shoot. Narada has it, free throw line, spins in the lane, down low, nice find. Oh, Alyssa Narada. That's all her on that play. She did not panic once she got underneath with the shot clock winding down. Lynn Mendez drives this time and gloved by Leyva, but she saves it to Beach for two. Cassidy Beach happy that Leyva, you can't save it under the opponent's basket unless you launch it out. So Chargers with the lead, Chargers with the ball. Chargers with the lead. Who hit that?
Leyva.
Okay. She's got 7. And there's a rebound. Reach and foul by Banks. Dangerous time for Saddleback because they only have 7 players substituting in and out. Cypress is playing with 10 in heavy rotation, keeping fresh bodies in there. They have a 3-point lead at 51-48. There's 6:09 to play in the fourth quarter, and we'll see if they start pressing in the last 5 to 6 minutes to try to tire out Saddleback even more. Their legs, if you lose them, those threes are going to be less of a factor. Leyva up top. Almost a steal, and there is a steal. That's anticipation whistle by the referee as Psyche came underneath and intercepted the pass. And they call with the body. That's her third personal foul. Second team foul for the Bobcats. Down low, once again, no good, but there's Jackson one more time. That's why she leads the team in rebounding with 9.5. And there she goes one more time. So third chance opportunity, that's her favorite shot. And Chris Jackson is taking over in the second half, and specifically this fourth quarter where she has 6. Mendez working against Jackson. And Jackson is not the defensive player, reigning defensive player of the year in the OEC for nothing. She did not fall for the step through or the scoop shot. Blocked it out of bounds for her second. Akinaka in, Banks out. So Psyche, Beach, Mina, Akinaka, Mendez, their best offensive flow in this game. There's Psyche. Does she take that 3? No. Steps in for 2. Front rim, strong rebound. Akinaka, kick out. Mina needs one, doesn't get it. Beach one more time. Third chance, Mendez and Mina. Look for Beach down low. She comes up to set a high screen. She rolls. She's got the shot from Akinaka. Again, no good. And there's Leyva patrolling the boards and creating space. Chargers 5-point lead at 53-48. They realize that those threes aren't falling the way they did against Santa Ana, so Cypress is packing it in, not letting Beach have any room, and Akinaka underneath. Leyva pop out, no good. And here's Mina the other way into the forecourt. That other scores you were talking about, Orange Coast 46 and Irvine Valley 39 in the third quarter. Other OEC action. Swooping hook in the lane. Beach cannot get it. And Saddleback has gone cold in the fourth quarter. Howard with 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play.
Still a lot of time for Saddleback to stay in this game with the number of possessions and the score that it is, but you have to be better on the defensive possessions.
Henderson kick out. Narada gets the baseline in the lane. She carried. So that's one more turnover. And substitutions in the ball game. Narada, Cadena Hernandez, and Bado. I'm going to call her Bado because it sounds like Erica Badu. So they're into the ball game to join Henderson and Interiano. So let's see what Mina and Saddleback have on this offensive possession. Good defense and closeout by the Chargers. There's a roll by Beach down low and converts. That's what a Frosh Player of the Year at Westcliff can do for you. And there's a timeout taken by the Bobcats with 3:37 to play in the ball game. 30 seconds. This is Bobcat basketball. That other OEC game, Santa Ana is all over Riverside at the half, 33-15. And speaking of Mount Sac, who we were talking about, East LA, who's on sportsnetusa.net. Well, it's a 30-point game, 53-23, with 6 minutes to play in the third quarter, and that's Mount Sac with the lead.
It is quite the opponent for East LA to open up conference play against. Is that really we have to go up against them first? All right.
So we sit at 53-50. Cypress in blue with possession and the lead. Henderson, Viejo, Jackson is really taking control in the fourth quarter, and that's what she really does. The sophomore leadership, an all-conference performer and award winner. Interiano miss, rebound, good box out by Mendez, and now you need a good shot. Mendez, Psyche, Rutledge, Beach, and Mina. 53-50. Rutledge to Beach. She takes that three. She's feeling it. Back rim. And really, that's not her game. She's capable of making that.
You know, there were still only 3 minutes left in this game. Saddleback didn't need a three there, but they needed two.
Yeah. And that three, you kind of want to see Mendez or Psyche taking that. But again, Beach has been an all-world performer this season. Rebound, no. And there's Beach with a strong block out. But again, lazy pass on the outlet, and that's a turnover. Again, elbows work in the game of basketball. No, we're not advocating elbowing people and cheating. But again, you get those strong elbows that create space with the ball. Those double teams are less and few and far between when somebody catches one in the chest. Here's Jackson poked away. Good defense by Mendez. Coach Hamamoto wants his team to run in the corner. That's a three you'd want. Psyche's the person to take it.
What a shot by Psyche. Clutch three-point shot to tie this game. And she was at least a good 1.5 feet back from behind the three-point line, so that had some distance on it.
And that's what she did. She hit 3 of those against Santa Ana on Friday from the left side on the wing, and then that's what she does. And that's why Jordan Hamamoto said, that's my key recruit that we wanted to rebuild our program. And he's got her. She's got 14 points tonight. She's also got 3 fouls, and there's a timeout on the floor with 94 seconds to play, and it's all tied up at 53 on SportsNetUSA.net. So Mariah, let's go ahead. And Jaylene Viejo has 13 points and 8 rebounds. Christacia Jackson has 13 and 6. Mariah Henderson 9 and 5. Marina Leyva 7 and 3. Alyssa Narada 4 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. Those are the keys for Cypress. For Saddleback, we mentioned Nina Psyche, 14 points, 5 assists. Cassidy Beach, 15 points and 9 rebounds, working away on a double-double. She's also got 2 blocks. Jalen Mendez, 9 and 5. Mariana Mina, 8 points. Michaela Rutledge, 5. And Kalina Akinaka, she's got 2 points and 5 boards. Viejo with the left. Jackson in the corner. Interiano leaves it for Chris with 10. Good closeout by Mina on the box. At the free throw line, Interiano, big three. No good. Rebound fought for. Viejo has it with 20 to shoot. Reset of the shot with 1:10 to play. Cross-court pass, and Saddleback went to a zone, and now they're back into a person-to-person. And Leyva, a lot about to travel. Nice backdoor cut, no good by Interiano. Rebound strong by Rutledge, last touch. We're going Bobcat way. Interiano poked it out. And people are not going to like that call.
Half the gymnasium arguing for that travel call, Corey.
And here's Mina putting on pressure by the Chargers. So Mina, Rutledge, Mendez, Beach, and Psyche, who tied it up on that last three-point game. 2 timeouts remaining for both teams. And we've got 38 seconds to play in the ball game. 15 on the shot, make it 12. Psyche double teamed up top. Rutledge, big time, no. Rebound in Siriano. And a timeout taken by Cypress. They've got one remaining with 26.2. Shot clock is off.
Rutledge just a little short on that three-point shot, just hits the lip, and it took a favorable bounce towards the backboard, but went right off the back of the rim and out for a Cypress rebound. So it was a good effort, just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, and that's a shot you'll take every single time, and that's a play you'll take every single time because it was in the flow and the rhythm of the offensive possession.
In terms of its trajectory, it was right on line. Didn't go left or right. It was right where it needed to go. Just didn't have enough momentum or enough energy put behind it to go right into that rim.
And don't forget the men. They took out Cypress earlier today, 80-65. And they were led, well, Charlie Stallings didn't play. He's been their best player this season. But it was a team effort to get them their 10th win of the season and their first win in conference play. And with Saddleback back on the floor with Mendez. She's 3 in grade. Psyche, 10. Mina, 1. Beach, 15. And Rutledge wearing 0 for the Bobcats in the gray and maroon. Cypress will have the ball with 26 seconds to play. They bring out Narada. Henderson will inbound. Leyva, Martinez, and Jackson. Giselle Martinez is their three-point specialist. She's trying to space the floor as the Bobcats are going person to person. If you foul not in the shooting act, no free throws. They've got 2 team fouls. Cypress has none. Here's Narada. She steps back with 8. There's Beach around in the key. Raises it up. No good. And there's a timeout with 2.9. One timeout remaining for the Bobcats. They're going to have the ball. And here's what you love about the women's game.
So that timeout will, of course, advance the ball just like it did for Cypress a moment ago. But 2.9 on the clock, that is enough for a catch and throw. But what type of play do you set up to really create that space?
Any play you want, because with 2.9, you can take a dribble with that either. So it's not just a catch and shoot situation. You've got Mendez who can come off and he's good with the bounce. You bring her off of a screen because you guaranteed 2 players are going to be shadowing Psyche because she's not going to take a 3. And that's one of the things. You don't need a 3, you need the best shot. So you come off on the inbound, you have the opportunity to take a 1 dribble and get something inside the 3-point line for 2 because they're going to be over pursuing.
In my mind, you try to feed something into Beach down low, try to attack the rim. She's been money on that pretty much all night. And with a worst case scenario, maybe she draws a foul on that effort should she miss the basket. And then maybe get a second chance going to the free throw line should that happen.
Could be, and they come out with Rutledge and Mina. Beach is there. Psyche and Mendez will inbound the ball. 53-53, 2.9 in this OEC tilt. 2 of the top teams in the state, the number 8 team and the number 15 team. Saddleback looking at remain perfect in the OEC, cannot move. And there's Beach down low, and there's the hold on Kadena Hernandez. And because you have no fouls, you can give 1. You can give 2. If you're Cypress, you give another as long as they're not in the shooting motion.
And they do rule that non-shooting foul.
Yeah.
So that will take time off the clock and reduce the chances for Saddleback to come away with a scoring opportunity.
So they're going to put 2.3 back on the clock instead of 1.8. So again, where the foul was called, now instead of the sidelines, you're going to have the ball on the baseline underneath the basket. And Saddleback uses their final timeout of the game. And you like the opportunity that you had Beach going towards the basket on the opposite side. And you think that's what coaching staff probably said they're going to foul right away.
I mean, like, it looked like the play was set up for Beach, but Cypress clearly all over that read, and they fouled her right away before she had the opportunity to pull off the shot. With them adding time back on, it was 2.9, and it was less than under 2 seconds left remaining. They put it back to 2.3. That's still more than enough time to put away a shot.
Yeah, and I think the play was designed, well, specifically for this, to get the ball on the baseline to inbound for an easier bucket going towards the basket, because you'll have an opportunity to set a down screen and come through. And again, the person setting the screen is going to be the most dangerous person on the floor, because they'll just slip through towards the basket. We'll see what they play. There it is. Psyche, there's the foul. And there's 1.3 again. Cypress is simply going to foul because they can foul. That's only their second team foul. He's got 3 more to get 5 to shoot free throws. And here's the slip screen. Beach. There we go. Rutledge for the win. Left it short. And we're going to overtime.
And I just couldn't put enough behind the fadeaway jumper. It looked like it was right on target, but hand in her face with that pressure, just couldn't overcome it. We are going into overtime.
And both these teams are so well coached, and every advance was made. Again, you expected that screen to come through and maybe have Beach set it for the down and roll to the basket. But anyway, we got 5 minutes of what they say free basketball. It's 53-53. This is Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net.
That's the first time I get to use the overtime text on the scoreboard all year.
How's it look?
Looks nice.
I like
OT,
it.
yeah.
Looks good.
And, I mean, I'll show you what I got on the actual set. So I have it set up, for the extras.
Okay.
I have had to use them before for, like, one crazy game at East LA. Never thought it would have to do that. And like, we're going to second overtime? Oh, wait, we're going into triple overtime? Oh, I never created the shortcuts for that within the scoreboard system. So ever since then, made it. Haven't used it. Hasn't come up since as I knock some, hopefully, wood.
I'm good for 1 overtime. 2, you're pushing it.
Yeah.
So again, the 3C2A rules for overtime. That's really is a 3. The C stands for Corey needs to go. So 53-53 is your score. 5 minutes to play for an excellent ball game that we've seen. Again, this is 2 of the best teams in the state of California. Cypress, the number 8 team. Saddleback, the number 15 team. And you see why both these squads have a legitimate opportunity to get to the Final Four as we jump it up one more time with Beach and Jackson. Center circle. And there's Vivo controlling the possession. So person-to-person defense. No, they've got a 2-3 zone that Saddleback employs, trying to conserve their legs. Again, Cypress hasn't shot the 3 that well, so that zone makes sense. In the corner, and there's a foul by Rutledge. That's the 3rd team foul. But again, there are gaps in the zone that Cypress does well moving without the ball. And Rutledge looks like she hurt her shoulder. She needs to come out, or she's okay. Banks. Banks checking in for Rutledge. So Rutledge runs off. On the inbound to Interiano. Leyva. That 2-1-2. 2-3 zone. Jackson patrolling the key. Interiano, Henderson in the corner. Jackson can make that now. She does not. And there is a loose ball foul, or they call it travel, not a loose ball foul. They say Interiano got the rebound. Contact, falls down, traveling out of bounds. 3 team fouls for the Bobcats, 2 team fouls for the Chargers.
It was some hard contact, but it was clean contact. It wasn't anything deliberate, but she did indeed fall out of bounds.
And there was a double dribble by Banks, not called. Beach at the free throw line, working against Leyva. Does she take it? She uses in the key, off glass. Cassidy. She's got 17. 2-1-2 on a three-quarter variety. And again, that zone with those gaps creates rebounding opportunities for the Chargers if they take those long shots. Leyva looking to work. Good ball movement on their first possession, came up empty. Henderson with the bounce over, no good. Good box out by Banks. So again, Henderson got a shot that she liked. Couldn't convert with the left. 3:18 to play in overtime. Beach, one more time. The sophomore working in the lane with a hook. No foul there. Solid defense for the Chargers in the lane. Jackson, nifty dribbling, kicks out. Leyva thought about the three. She's in the key. Down low, Jackson away from every time. That time is she fouled. She is fouled, and she'll head to the line for two.
Foul going to get charged to Mendez. 2:56 remaining here in overtime.
Hey, you know, Albert, it's always fun coming to Saddleback and calling a game because you never know when that wind is going to come up and burst through the stairwell.
And Rutledge back in the game for Saddleback.
Chris misses the first free throw. Wow. Jackson is a 76% free throw shooter. Misses the first, so it stays a 2-point lead for the Bobcats. And it stays a 2-point lead for the Bobcats. Let's see if they can capitalize on it. As Cassidy Beach has the only 2 points in this overtime period. Psyche, the freshman, thought about the three. In the lane with the left. Count the bucket. She got away with a walk and made him count. 57-53.
Great move there by Psyche. Clearly undersized with the height advantage, able to drive through that lane for the underhanded layup.
Simply a baller. Narada playing catch with Vivo up top. Narada one more time. Good closeout by Mina with 10. In the corner, Leyva. No. Rebound, box out, chase down on the ground is Narada. Loose ball. Who got possession? Alternating arrow. And they're going to say last touched by Saddleback. And again, the way the officials have been calling this game.
They're putting 20 on the shot clock, so they're giving it to Cypress.
Yep. And they've called this game well. They've called this game. There's been physicality. There's been contact. But again, they're telling the players to play through it. And they've been consistent. Vivo gets baseline on Beach. Interiano double team. Back to Vivo. Leyva missed her last three. Can she connect on this one? She does. Marina Leyva. That's her second three. She's got 10 points. Cuts the Bobcat lead to 1 at 57-56. Bobcats are playing well. Their offensive sets on this overtime period made 2 buckets, 2 out of 3, and it's what they wanted. They've been more patient and not settling for a 3-point shot. Leading the way is Cassidy Beach with 17 points. She does have her double-double with 11 rebounds, 2 block shots. Nina Psyche had 5 assists in the first half. Still stuck on 5, but she's got 16 points to go along with it. Kaylin Mendez has 9 points. 3 players in double figures for Cypress. Vivo and Jackson, 13 points each. Vivo has 10 rebounds to go along with that. And Leyva has 10 points with that last 3-point bucket. 144 remains. 144 left in the first overtime at Bobcat Gym. And there's a turnover. They were looking for a screen. Henderson all the way, contact on the layup, no foul call. Again, consistent, and there's a turnover by the Chargers.
Trying to get into the hands of Jackson, bit off balance. He goes hard to the floor. Probably just take a little personal breather. Hopefully not injured at all.
And so again, one turnover deserves, or begets another. So the possessions for both teams are not what they wanted with 83 seconds to play in the ball game. So Rutledge and Psyche, Beach and Mendez, and Nina. On the inbound is Nina. So again, Cassidy Beach was setting the screen. Mariana Mina was giving up the ball. So let's see if that communication is here. They set it this time, and the roll all the way. Kick out. Mina pulls up. No. 10 on the shot clock. Beach, good position in the key. No travel. Kept that pivot. Blocked by Lavo. But they say got her on the arm, so Beach will head to the line for two. Again, Cassidy Beach kept that pivot foot down. And the sophomore goes to the line to extend this 1-point lead.
Might have been a little bit of a tippy toe on that pivot, but it was still planted.
And she gives the Bobcats a 2-point lead, 18 points. And now she's giving them a 3-point lead. The Cypress faithful who traveled down to Mission Viejo do not like that call. They felt there was a travel and a couple fouls on their side of the floor. Saddleback says we just do what we do. We've got a 3-point lead. Skip pass in the corner. Evo calling for it. Henderson wants to tie. Does she? No. Rebound to Tiriano. Brings it back out with 34 to shoot. Didn't hit rim, so there's 3 seconds. 2 seconds. And there's a foul by Beach. Got caught up in the air. And it'll reset the shot clock. That's the 4th team foul. Oh, that's the 5th team foul. So free throws coming to Marina Leva. Leva 9 and 5.5 a game. Today she's got 10. And again, tough because that foul came with 1 second on the shot clock. And there's 29.3 remaining, so the shot clock is off. Saddleback, or excuse me, Cypress will have to foul. First is up and in. If there's a make or if there's a miss in a Bobcat rebound, Bobcats will be fouled. And there's a make, bringing it to 1. 1 timeout for each team in the final 29 seconds. There's Rutledge. You got to give it up. You want to call that timeout? No, not yet. There's 22. They can beat the 10 seconds. Here's Beach all the way. Puts it up and puts it down. Cassidy Beach extends the lead to 3. 16.9 to play. 20 points for Ms. Beach. 21 points, excuse me. And there's a timeout for the Bobcats. This is Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. And excuse me, that timeout was taken by the Chargers. Excuse me. They will be able to advance the ball up to half court.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was Psyche who was on the assist there, taking it past half court, barely avoiding a 10-second violation as they were still in the backcourt. And, you know, as I'm watching Nina Psyche play, I can't help be reminded about the Seguchi sisters who played at ELAC, both Karis and Kaden Seguchi. Similar statures, very aggressive play, both when they're in the paint, but very good perimeter shooters. She's the type of player who's like, don't underestimate her. She can do a lot.
Oh, yeah. She's going to be an all-conference player in the OEC this year. Whether it's going to be first team or second team, doesn't matter. She will make it. On the inbound, Martinez. Henderson missed the last free with 13. Jackson's capable. Steps back. Long. Rebound Vivo. Now they need a 3 with 5. Step back. No, and Saddleback's going to get their 5th victory in conference on this season with a 61-58 victory over Cypress, who dropped a 2-2 in conference. Once again, 17-4, they improved to 5-0 in conference play. For Albert Robles, I am Corey Neyland. Once again, Cypress basketball with the men 80-65 victory over Cypress, and the women 61-58. This has been Bobcat basketball on SportsNetUSA.net.